Hello, hello, hello. This is Mike Graham from MRM with affiliate tips educating beginners and intermediates. And the subject today is the continuation of what I started in the last video, which is what would the perfect business look like and how would it function? Well, today I want to talk about the perfect CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. Now, obviously, I'm starting out as a one-man business, and it's sort of I have to do everything or it doesn't get done. Or I have to outsource, and then it will get done, probably by a better professional than myself. But it isn't necessarily the skill sets that make the perfect CEO. It's an ability to lead and to have the ideas that form the basis for how um, the business runs, basically. So not only having a major say and taking action in product creation and development, but also to be able to know who you can trust and how you can trust them, what work is important and what work isn't. But more than that, he has to be an ace persuader. He has to be able to market. He has to be able to get people to look at his products and buy them. Therefore, he has to know what he's doing as an advertiser with skills that go beyond the normal idea of persuasion to actually getting people to think it's their idea in the end to get such and such a product that's on sale. Therefore, he has to be cunning. I mean, which isn't to say he shouldn't be honest, but he has to be cunning, resourceful, um, altogether in a different realm of cleverness of a particular type. And I don't mean bookish clever, although that doesn't hurt either, but I do mean a bit of street smartness, a bit of wisdom, just practical common wisdom, because actually a lot of business is common sense. And that becomes abundantly clear at times that having common sense is a good basis for negotiation. He has to understand human psychology from a particular standpoint. He has to understand people as well as the products he sells and know what it takes to push people towards buying something. Because at the end of the day, his main function is to ensure that his products reach the market and are desirable and available to the people who may require them. It's not just that, he has to keep a business going, therefore it has to be successful, because at the end of the day it has to make money. And I know money is a dirty word for some. And most marketers make it abundantly clear that they're not in it for the money, but it doesn't hurt to make money. And therefore being sharp about that side of affairs is a good idea as well. Now, I'm not massively experienced in this. I haven't particularly been successful, but I would sure as hell like to be more successful. So I'm just trying to work out what it is that I have to become as a human being, as a mind, given that I'm the generating principle behind my business, and that as I'm the only employer as well as the CEO, there's nothing that's going to happen that isn't down to me. So I think being very versatile, resourceful, cunning, intelligent, understanding, having know-how, a certain amount of empathy, certain amount of intuition, and just knowing what sells and what doesn't, and what people need and what they don't need. That's really the main deal. Because you can have all sorts of skills, you know, like writing skills or technical skills or standing up in front of a camera skills. And they can all be learnt to a degree, but you also have to have something that's inside of you that sort of exudes a degree of charisma and authority, and to be able to transmit that authority. If you're uncertain about everything, then people aren't actually going to look at you any further. It's an interesting subject, exactly who makes a good CEO and who doesn't. And I guess a lot of people who've trodden this path as would-be entrepreneurs, some of whom have become successful later on. One thing for sure is that although it feels like slavery at times, I'm not prepared to be a slave to anything like the clock or to schedules and stuff unless it has to be. I think a certain amount of fluidity is called for and allowed because, quite frankly, if one doesn't, then one might just as well stay in a standard job, 9 to 5, with a boss. They take care of the difficult things. You just have to show up and you pick up a pay packet at the end. Whereas doing this, you should at least be able to grant yourself the freedom and laterality to do things on your own terms. And a lot of coaches are very keen on sort of saying, well, you have to know what you're going to do in the next quarter of an hour, the next half an hour, and keep to your schedules and don't veer from them. Quite frankly, if you want to be like that, then you know, that's fine. Go and start a school or something. Because it just seems that that is turning entrepreneurship into a drudge. And I think as soon as you lose pleasure and enjoyment out of it, that's the nature of a drudge. So having a degree of flexibility and fluidity, I think, is also essential. And just not being too hard on oneself. As my self-development coach says, you should always be delighted with yourself. Absolutely delighted. Because, you know, whether you're going to go up or down, you may as well do it with a bit of a smile on your face. Anyway, those are my thoughts today on perfect entrepreneurship. I realise this has been a bit of a ramble, but that's somewhat the nature of the subject. I hope what I've said has been at least interesting, entertaining. Give me a like if you've liked what I said. Even subscribe to my channel, it would be much appreciated. And there is a free product which I'm offering below, and I'm thinking of ideas for better products more later. And hopefully see you on the next one, and I'm very grateful to you for watching. Bye for now.